Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about 5 simple steps to find your niche. And if you don't know me, I'm Caroline Castrillon. I'm the founder of Corporate Escape Artist. I'm a business and life coach that helps people escape their 9-to-5 jobs so they can find fulfillment working for themselves. So 5 simple steps to find your niche. You know, for every company I ever worked for, I'd walk into the interview room and I'd ask them, so what's your biggest challenge? And almost always, and I'm talking about big companies like Sony, they would come back to me and they would say, I don't know who my customer is. And so, of course, I'd walk out of there salivating because that's a great opportunity for a marketer. But the point is that you can't be a successful business unless you know who your target audience is and unless you can solve a pain point for them. In fact, 42% of startups fail because they don't actually solve a market problem. And I'll have a link to that study from my blog on corporateescapeartist.com. So a question I get asked a lot is, Caroline, I want to start a side hustle or a full-time business. And so how do I figure out my niche? I don't want to go too broad because everyone's telling me not to go too broad, but I don't want to go too narrow either because I don't want to limit myself. So what do I do? Well, the truth is you're probably going to start off a little more broad and then go more narrow over time. When I started coaching, I knew I wanted to inspire and empower people so that they would feel like they could follow their dreams and not have to be stuck in a cubicle all day. But that was very vague. So I worked with my coach on my niche statement, which is I help corporate professionals transition to entrepreneurship so they can find fulfillment working for themselves. And that's basically the formula. I help her teach X, do Y, so they can, and then whatever that benefit is. So whether you're looking to launch a product or a service, I'm going to give you 5 simple steps to find your ideal niche. And the first one is you really want to do some soul searching. You want to have passion for whatever it is you're doing, especially if you're starting your own business. Otherwise, you're never going to be successful. So your ideal niche is really going to come out of your interests, experience, goals, and values. So think of it this way. If you're a marketing expert and you love photography, maybe you could become a marketing consultant working with photographers to market their services. Because the truth is that the best niches come out of your own experience. So think about it. Is there a pain point or problem in your own life that you'd like to solve for yourself and others? That's where some of the greatest products or services come out of. And then you want to ask yourself some introspective questions. You want to ask yourself, okay, what unique skills or experience have I acquired over the years? And I'm not just talking about degrees or certifications. I'm talking about life experience, because that can actually be more valuable than any degree or any certificate. And then you want to ask yourself, what do I enjoy doing so much that I lose all track of time when I'm doing it? Or what do I do, or what would I love to do that I love it so much I wouldn't even mind not getting paid for it? Or my favorite question is, if I had all the time and money in the world and I knew I couldn't fail, what would I be doing? Once you get through those questions, then you want to narrow it down to, okay, what's at the intersection of what I enjoy and what I'm good at? And then from there, you want to narrow it down further to the things that you find where there's a need and there's a market that's going to pay for that product or service. Because you could enjoy and be good at doing something, but if there's not a need and if there's not a market out there that's going to pay you for it, you're not going to be able to build a business around it. So once you get through that exercise, it's really going to help you get to the core of your ideal niche. So once you have that, then you really want to identify those pain points. You want to survey your target audience and understand what their pain points are. And that's where online is really great. Facebook, Twitter, Quora, Reddit. Go to where your target audience is, having those conversations, and find out what questions are they asking, what problems do they have. Go on Facebook groups and insert yourself into the conversation. Maybe offer to help people with your product or service and test it out that way. Go on Google, see what trends and keywords you can find. You can also use simple surveys. Google Surveys makes it easy to create customized surveys without all the complexity. And then another idea is to create a meetup group. You can create a meetup group around your target audience and meet with them in person on a regular basis to see what their pain points are. It's going to be like a little mini focus group. And then the next step is to look at your competition. So go online, go on Google, and type in the keywords that your target audience would be typing in and see what pops up. Is there even a market for your product or service? And if there is, take a look at the competition. How would you make yourself stand out? How would you differentiate yourself? If you find a keyword that has a lot of traffic, but not a lot of competitors or paid advertising around it, that could indicate a great opportunity for you. And also take a look at your competitors' content, see what they're putting out there. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to create a more high quality product. And then the next step is you really want to test your niche. So these days with online, it's so easy. You don't even need a full-fledged website to do this. In fact, you don't even need a landing page necessarily. You can build a Facebook business page and use that as your landing page. Or you could build a landing page using something like lead pages, which makes it really easy. And then potentially use paid advertising to drive traffic to that page and see how it performs. And if you don't get a lot of traction right away, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're on the wrong track with your niche. It might just mean that you have to tweak your messaging or your product offer. And also consider doing some A/B testing around your landing page template to see what works and what doesn't. And then once you get through that phase and all the previous steps, the last step is to just go for it. Because the truth is, no matter how much research or surveying you do, you're really not going to know how your product or service is going to be received until you put it out there into the world. So put it out there, don't get analysis paralysis, get it to a point where you feel good about it, and then launch. And just keep in mind that you're going to need to remain flexible. You're going to need to make tweaks over time. You want to A/B test your messaging to see what works and what doesn't. And if you stick with it and you're persistent, you will definitely be able to crack the code to get to your ideal niche. So I hope this information was helpful. I'm on Facebook Live every Wednesday at 12 o'clock Central, so you can find me there. I'll have more information on this topic on my blog at corporateescapeartist.com, where you'll also find my free offer, 5 signs it's time to leave your soul-sucking job. So please check that out. And if you or someone you know is looking to escape that 9-to-5 job so you can find fulfillment working for yourself, please reach out to me. I'd love to hear your story. And so until next time, I will see you soon. Thanks for joining, everybody.